Well, actually, one of the crazy client stories, and I can't believe I didn't remember it last time. This is a few years ago now, actually, and it's before beautiful online software like Xero or MYB. It's like desktop software. Back in those days, a crazy story would be if you actually had to do a home visit. If you actually had to do a home visit because their accounting software was on their computer at their home, and all the paperwork was at their place of business as well, in their home study. One was a commercial painter, bless his cotton socks. He had 6 years worth of GST returns to do. The data would also generate income less expenses and assets and liabilities for a tax return. So it was pretty imperative that we would get him up to date. When I walked into his home office, it was like a dust explosion. I was sneezing all over the place. His old wooden desk looked like it had exploded, like every drawer was stuffed full of receipts and it was burgeoning out of that. Couldn't even actually see the laptop with the MYOB on it at the time because it was just covered in paperwork. And on the floor was every GST period with a GST return and some paperwork in underneath it. So he'd done some sorting and filing, which was quite good. And my question to him was, it looks like you've already done some calculations and here's the GST, this should be ready to go. Why didn't you file it? And he said, well, I just never had the money. So didn't want to file it because then he would have to pay it, which isn't kind of how inland revenue works, because they're just going to do a default assessment anyway and say, well, you owe this. So that was kind of crazy. And I did work out after that preliminary interview that not everyone should be in business and you can't help everybody.